Good morning, children. You're all safe, I hope so. Here I am fine. Children, we are dealing the lesson atoms and molecules. So I am virtually in front of you with one more part of the same lesson. So actually, in the last class, we have learned laws of chemical combinations. But for the scientists, the next task is to give a suitable explanation of those laws, whatever we have studied. So these was led by John Dalton. Actually, he was a school teacher in England, and he became a great scientist, and he put forward a theory in 1808 about the nature of matter. So the theory is based on the concept of divisibility of matter, which was put forward by ancient philosophers. So actually, Dalton's proposals are like this. If mass was to be conserved, then all the elements must be made up of extremely small particles called atoms. If law of constant proportion is to be followed, the particles of same substance cannot be different. So based on these two proposals, Dalton proposed a theory which was named as Dalton's atomic theory. Postulates of Dalton's atomic theory as follows. So coming to the postulates of Dalton's atomic theory, matter consists of indivisible particles called atoms. Okay, whatever the matter may be element, compound or a mixture. That is first one. When you go to the second one, atoms are neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. That means atom is indestructible. In this, chemical reactions involve reorganization of atoms. That means what we have studied in one of the law, what we completed in the last part. All the atoms of a given element have identical mass and identical properties. Children, listen here. Atoms of the same element are identical in all respects. So that means related to size, shape, mass, and properties. Atoms of different masses and different properties. That means, listen, atoms of different elements have different sizes and masses and also possess different properties. Children, you have to listen carefully here. Compounds are formed when atoms of different elements combine in whole ratios. Here, just listen, ma. When atoms of different elements combine together to form compounds, they do so in a simple whole number ratio such as 1 is to 1 or 2 is to 1 or 2 is to 3 like that. So that means a chemical chain is the union or separation of atoms as in the whole numbers. When you go with the next one, when atoms of different elements combine in the number of ratios, they form different compounds. Here also just listen, children, carefully. Atoms of two different elements may combine in different ratios to form more than one compound. Okay. For example, carbon and oxygen may combine to form carbon monoxide. Okay, the ratio of combining atoms will be, that is CO, in the form of 1 is to 1. When you go with carbon dioxide, the combining ratio will be 1 is to 2. So atoms of the same or different elements combine together to form molecules or compounds. Okay, and one more point you have to remember here. The number and kind of atoms in a given compound is always fixed. Atom is the smallest particle that take part in a chemical reaction. Laws of chemical combination by Dalton's atomic theory. So whatever the postulates we have studied, in that he gave the explanation for the laws of chemical combination, what we have studied in the last part of the lesson. So just listen the explanation for law of conservation of mass. So according to Dalton's theory, matter is made up of atoms. Further, atoms can neither be created nor destroyed. Okay, and here similarly matter neither be created nor destroyed. And we know that atom is the smallest particle that take part in a chemical reaction. And you can tell that during a chemical reaction involves only the rearrangement of atoms. That means the total number and the kind of atoms remain the same. Okay, this is one of the most important point you have to remember. Okay, like the total mass remains unchanged during a chemical reaction. This part, what we have studied in one of the activity for law of conservation of mass in the last part, I have explained that. So he gave explanation to that law which was given by before scientists. So coming to the explanation of constant proportions, what he explained is, according to his theory, the number and kind of atoms in a compound is fixed. As the kind of atoms is fixed, this implies a compound is always made up of same elements. And you have to remember like this. As the number of atoms of different elements in a compound is fixed, that means the ratio of atoms in a compound is also fixed. And one more point, as atoms are fixed masses, which means in the compound, the elements are combined in a fixed ratio by mass. So combining these two, we get the law of constant proportions. Children, listen carefully here. Limitations or drawbacks of Dalton's atomic theory. Dalton atomic theory was not only able to explain the law of conservation of mass and the law of constant proportion, but it also predicted another law, that is the law of multiple proportions, which you will study in your higher classes. Okay, the first one is atom is no longer considered as the smallest indivisible particle. That means because recent studies have shown that atom is made up of still smaller particles called electrons, protons and neutrons, where we are going to study in the next lesson. Next, atoms of the same element may have different masses. For example, if you take two types of atoms of chlorine with masses, one is 35 and one is 37. Okay, this also we are going to study in the next lesson. Such atoms of same element with different mass numbers are called as isotopes, children. Next, when you go with the third one, atoms of different elements may have same masses. For example, atoms of potassium and calcium are known with the same mass number, that is 40. Okay, such atoms of different elements with same mass numbers are known as isobars. Related to this also you're going to study in the next lesson. Okay. Now substances made up of the same kind of atoms may have a different properties. For example, charcoal, graphite and diamond are all made up of carbon atoms, but they have a different physical properties. So one more point you have to remember, whatever the drawbacks are there, they are modified and given by some other scientist in the modern atomic theory. So coming to atoms and molecules. In the lower classes, you have studied that atoms are the building blocks of all the matter. Okay. And a matter is composed of tiny particles known as atoms. These atoms are so small that we cannot see them even with your high powerful microscope. And one more point is the number of atoms present even in a small amount of matter is very large. Okay. And you have to define atom in this way. An atom is defined as the smallest particle of an element which may or may not capable of free existence. Okay, however, it is the smallest particle that take part in a chemical reaction. Already we have studied. And here you have to remember, are the elements also made up of atoms? Yes, the substances are made up of atoms or molecules. Atoms are the most fundamental of all the particles that have an independent existence. Sometimes we find two or more atoms combined to form a big particle. Okay, when atoms combine, they form molecules. When the particles of a substance contain one type of atoms, then the substance is called as an element. So in elements, the smallest particle may be an atom or a molecule. So just listen children, there are many elements whose smallest particle is an atom like iron, copper, zinc, aluminium, silver, gold, etc. are the examples of substances in which the smallest particle is an atom. Children, please listen carefully. For example, atoms of noble gases like helium, neon, argon, krypton, and xenon. These are unreactive, so they exist in the free state. So one more point also, just listen. Like atoms of hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, they are highly reactive, so they cannot exist in free state. So they always exist in combined state with atoms of same element or atoms of other elements. Listen the examples carefully, children. For example, they exist as dinitrogen, that is H2, dioxygen O2, dinitrogen N2, etc. Okay, are combined with other elements. They may exist like this also, like hydrogen chloride, HCl, water, H2O, ammonia, NH3, etc. So atoms of same elements or different elements can join to form molecules. If atoms of different elements join together to form a new substance known as a compound, already I have discussed example. Just listen carefully and attentively and understand whatever you understood. Okay, and after completing everything, just go through the textbook also, children. So atoms are extremely small particles, so small in size that they cannot be seen even under a microscope. Okay, if you imagine its size, it is very interesting to know millions of atoms are stacked one above the other. The thickness, whatever we get, is equal or may not be equal to the thickness of a sheet of paper. And you have to remember that as atoms are considered to be spherical, their sizes are expressed in the terms of their radii called atomic radii. Okay, these all we are going to learn in the next part of the lesson. So children, do you know what gold is called in your language? But in other languages, it would have a different name. So there are many and so many languages in the world that it is not possible to know different names of each element in different languages. So to help scientists communicate without confusion, we must have one name for each element which is accepted by everyone. So symbols are used to represent atoms of different elements. Actually, coming to the symbol is a short method of representing anything. It may be represented by a figure or just we can have a letter also. I hope, have you ever seen road signs when you go on a highway? Like that, some signs. So in case of elements, symbol means a short method of representing the full name of an element. So Dalton, symbols of elements. Dalton was the first scientist to suggest specific symbols in terms of figures for different elements known at that time, which were limited in number. If you observe like hydrogen, phosphorus, copper, gold, carbon, sulfur, lead, platinum. Okay, oxygen, iron, silver, and mercury. So the symbol used by him also represents the quantity of that element. That means one atom of an element. So they are inconvenient to draw and could not become popular. John Berzelius, a Swedish scientist, he suggested a more scientific method for representing the full name of an element by using one or two letters from the name of the element. So this idea has been used in giving modern symbols to the elements which we use today. So children, carefully listen here. Modern symbols of elements. Different elements have been named either after the name of a place where they were first discovered, or after the name of a scientist who discovered it, or on the basis of some important property of that element. For example, the name copper came from Cyprus, Rutherfordium after Rutherford. Similarly, gold was so named after the English word which means yellow color, and actinium was so named due to its high radioactivity. However, as more and more elements were discovered, an international committee was set up called International Units of Pure and Applied Chemistry, in shortcut IUPAC. which approved the names of different elements. So though the names of most of the elements have been taken from English, there are some other elements which have been taken from or named from Latin, German or Greek. So these are the guidelines for writing the symbols. The symbol of an element is the first letter or the first letter and another letter of the English name or the Latin name of the element. The first letter is always a capital, another letter, if it is there or added, is always a small letter. Or in a short way, you can remember that the first letter of a symbol is always in the uppercase, means capital letter, and the second letter is always lowercase, that means a small letter. A symbol can have either one or two letters of English. So for example, hydrogen is represented with H, oxygen with O, carbon with C, cobalt with CO, aluminium is Al. Like that you can write the symbols of different elements. Children, you pay attention and listen properly. The second guideline also. The necessity of adding another letter arises only in the case of elements whose name starts with same letter. Okay. However, another letter added is not always second letter of the name. Further, another letter added may be a letter from the Latin name of the element. If you listen carefully, pay attention here. If you go with the carbon, calcium, cobalt, chlorine and copper, all start with the first letter C. Hence, carbon is represented by one letter C, while others are represented by two letter symbols. Thus, calcium by Ca, cobalt by CO, another letter added is the second letter of the name. Whereas chlorine is represented by Cl, here another letter added is not the second letter of the name, but some other letter from the name. Okay, now when you go with the symbol used for copper, it is Cu, which has been derived from the Latin name cuprum. I hope children, whatever the guideline I have given examples. Pay attention and listen the conditions carefully. Here, symbols of the elements derived from English names. So here I have given few names of element and their symbol. This all, everyone should know the symbol by heart, children. You have to by heart it. Argon, Ar, arsenic, As, aluminium, Al, boron, B, barium, Ba, beryllium, Be, bromine, Br, carbon, C, calcium, Ca, chlorine, Cl, chromium, Cr, cobalt, Co, fluorine, F, hydrogen, H, helium, He, iodine, I, lithium, Li, magnesium, Mg, manganese, Mn, nitrogen, N, neon, Ne, nickel, Ni, oxygen, O, phosphorus, P, platinum, Pt, sulfur, S, uranium, U, zinc, Zn. So these are the English name of the element and its symbol. So each and everyone should know the symbols as well as the element names. So these are the symbols of elements derived from Latin names. So just listen carefully, children. English name of the element, Latin name of the element and its symbols. Already I have given the guidelines how to write the symbol names of an element. So antimony, strontium, Sb, copper, copperum, Cu, gold, aurum, Au, iron, ferrum, Fe, lead, plumbum, Pb, mercury, hydrum, Hg, potassium, kalium, K, silver, argentinum, Ag, sodium, natrium, Na, tin, stannum, Sn, tungsten, wolfram, W. So children, in today's class, we have learned Dalton's atomic theory, postulates, okay, explanation of law of combinations, and we have learned the drawbacks of Dalton's atomic theory. Okay, we have learned some symbols of elements in English as well as Latin names. So with this, in today's class, I'll complete it. Again, I'll meet you in the next online video class. Thank you, children.